Hello, everyone. I'm Richard Gray, creator of the Automatic Wealth System by Logical Flow. Hope you're well. Welcome to our final lesson. Lesson 11, putting it all together, building your automatic wealth system. Over the last 10 lessons, we haven't simply learned about investing. We've learned how habits are formed, how our minds make decisions, how small actions repeated over time become powerful, and how every decision we make is quietly shaping the person that we are becoming. When we started out this course, we weren't talking about ETFs or stock markets. We were talking about becoming more intentional with our choices. Everything since then has been built on that foundation. Today, we are going to bring everything together into one simple system that can quietly work for you for years to come. Because financial freedom isn't built by making one perfect decision. It's built by creating a system that keeps making good decisions long after you've stopped thinking about them. So, welcome back, everyone, and congratulations for making it this far. Whether you've watched every lesson from the beginning to the end, or you jumped around to the topics that interested you the most, thank you for spending time with me. My hope has never been to tell you exactly what to invest in. My hope and intention has always been to help you think differently about money. Most of us were never taught about finances growing up. Personal finance simply isn't something many of us learned in school. Throughout this course, we've built something much bigger than an investment strategy. We've built a behavioral system, one that helps your future self every single payday. Today, we're going to be bringing everything together in one simple practical system that we can begin using immediately. So, today's lesson is going to be broken into 4 parts. Part 1, we'll briefly revisit the mindset that everything else in this course has been built upon. Part 2, we'll build an automatic wealth system using a simple real-world example. Part 3, we'll talk about how to automate the system so it continues working quietly in the background with very little effort. And in Part 4, we'll finish with a few final thoughts before wrapping up this course. If you've made it this far, you've already proven something to yourself. You're investing your time to build a better future. Now let's build the system that allows your money to do the same. Part 1, the foundation. Everything we've learned through this course comes back to one simple idea. Your future isn't hidden, it's rehearsed. Every day, whether we realize it or not, we're teaching ourselves who we are becoming. It starts off with the awareness, becoming conscious of our habits, our choice, our patterns, because we can't change something that we never notice. Awareness naturally leads to attention. What we repeatedly focus on begins to shape our decisions, and those decisions become our actions. That's why we introduced one of the biggest ideas in the course, which is every action is a vote. Every workout is a vote. Every book you read is a vote. Every automatic transfer into your investment account is a vote. Every decision that you do teaches your brain something, and those repeated votes become the evidence. Your brain begins collecting proof, and it starts thinking, maybe I really am someone who exercises. Maybe I really am someone who saves money. Maybe I really am someone who follows through. And over time, that evidence begins building into your core identity. You stop trying to become someone and you begin believing that's simply who you are. Your identity then trains your autopilot. The habits that once required effort to begin happening with very little thought and over many months and many years, that autopilot quietly shapes your probability of your future. And it's not because of one perfect decision, but because of the thousands of small ones that you've made. That's why this course has never been about perfection. It's been about consistency and progression. It's about becoming the turtle, slow, steady, intentional. Because progression is always more important than perfection. A mistake doesn't erase your progress. One missed contribution doesn't ruin your future. One difficult month doesn't mean that you failed. The turtle will simply keep moving forward. And remember something else we've talked about throughout this course: always use the right measuring stick. Don't compare yourself to someone who's been investing for 20 years. Don't compare yourself to someone who earns twice as much as your income. Don't compare yourself to anyone else, except comparing yourself to the person you were yesterday, last week, last month, last year. If yesterday you weren't saving and today you started, you're winning. If yesterday you acted out thinking and today you paused before you made a decision, you're winning. If today's version of you cast even one more positive vote than yesterday's version, you're becoming someone new. And that's exactly what this entire course has been about. Not changing your life overnight, but quietly changing the direction of your life, one vote at a time. So now that we've revisited that mindset behind everything we've learned, let's put it into practice. In the next session, we're going to build an automatic wealth system together using one simple example. Remember here, the goal isn't to copy the exact investments. The goal is to understand the thinking behind the system so that you can build one that fits your own lifestyle. So let's get started. Part 2, building your automatic wealth system. Now let's take everything we've learned and put it into practice. Before we begin, I want to make one thing very clear. The dollar amounts you'll see, the ETFs we'll use, and the timelines we talked about, they're just examples, they're not rules. The goal isn't to copy, the goal is to understand how to think about building your own system. Throughout this course, we've learned that every investment is simply a tool. Just like you wouldn't use a hammer to tighten a bolt, you don't use every investment for every goal. The right tool depends on 3 things: your goal, your timeline, your comfort with risk. Someone else may have different investments than I do, and that's perfectly okay. If they better fit that person's goals, timelines, and comfort level, then it's the best choice for them. The important thing is understanding why you're using the tool you've chosen. Because if you understand the reason why you own something and the risk involves, you're much more likely to stay calm when markets inevitably become volatile. Confidence doesn't come from copying someone else's investments, it comes from understanding your own. Now, let's build a simple example together. So, step 1, you got to remember you pay yourself first. Let's imagine you've taken a look at your budget. You've decided that $20 every payday feels comfortable and easy. For someone watching this, maybe it's only going to be $5, $10, some it may be 50, 100, a couple hundred. Everyone starts from a different place. The important thing isn't the amount. The important thing is building the habit. So for today's example, we're just going to keep it brief. We're going to be using $20 for an example. So pay yourself first. It's payday, $20 automatically on paydays, then it'll leave your everyday checking account, and it's then to go into your Wealthsimple account. Once it's in your Wealthsimple account, we're going to divide that into our baskets. So our first fast, being our safety fund as an example, we're going to put $10 into cash.to. And the reason why we're putting 50% into this fund is because it's the protection going forward. And once we get a nice sizable amount in this fund, we can slowly start putting more into the other funds. But we really want to build this one up first because it's protection for all the other funds. And then in our dream fund, we're gonna put $2.50 into CBIL, and that's going to be our shorter term goal of buying a PlayStation 5. And the second thing we're going to be putting in this basket is another $2.50 every payday into VBAL, because our thought is that we're okay with a little risk to get our adventure going, hopefully a little sooner. And if it takes a little longer, we're okay with that. That's an option that we've balanced on. So we're left with $5 left, and the remainder of the $5 is going to go into the Freedom Fund, and we're going to be purchasing VFV because we have the long time frame and we're okay with the higher volatility for bigger returns. So that's it. That's the whole system. That's the whole premise. The thought is relatively easy. You pay yourself first, you do these transfers, you buy your basket. Now I want you to step back for a moment and look at what we've actually created here. So you haven't simply built an investment portfolio, you've built a system where every piece supports the other pieces. The safety fund protects the freedom fund from life's unexpected emergencies. The dream fund protects your motivation by allowing you to enjoy meaningful experiences along the way. And the freedom fund quietly compounds for the future version of yourself. Each bucket has a different job, each investment has a different purpose, every dollar has a job, every basket has a purpose, and together they become something much more powerful than individual investments. They become an automatic system of wealth. Now that you've built the system, there's one final piece that makes everything much easier. Removing as much human emotion and forgetfulness from the process as possible. In the next section, we're going to automate everything so your future continues receiving votes every payday, even when your life gets busy. Part 3, making it automatic. Keep it growing, and final thoughts. Now that we've built the system, there's one more step that makes it all so much more powerful. Automation. Because the goal of this course was never to depend on motivation, motivation comes and goes. Life gets busy, unexpected expenses happen, work gets stressful, we forget. That's normal. Instead, we build systems, and the systems continue working even on the days that we don't feel motivated. That's why it's strongly recommended setting up the automatic transfers every payday to go into your tax-free savings account in Wealthsimple, and then setting up the automatic reoccurring purchases for all the investments you're buying in the 3 baskets. The very first time you set things up, it may take you a little bit of time, depending on how familiar you are with technology and the app, but the beauty is once it's done, you can set it and forget it. Your system's quietly going to work for you every paycheck. It's going to be another vote without needing to remember every single paycheck. And in the next and final video of this playlist, I'm going to do a walkthrough of exactly what it looks like inside Wealthsimple using screenshots to help you set this up if you need some help. So remember, let the turtle do the work. Now here's one final lesson from the turtle. Don't try and build your entire fortune overnight. Build something you can comfortably continue. If $20 every payday feels manageable, perfect. Stay there. Don't immediately try to double it because you're excited. Instead, choose a review date. Maybe it's a month, maybe it's 2 months down the road, whatever feels right for you. You're going to open up your calendar and you're going to create a reminder. And when that day arrives, you're going to ask yourself a simple question. Can I comfortably increase this by another $5 or $10 or whatever seems right to you? If the answer is yes, that's perfect. Increase it and go change the automatic transfers and buys to reflect the difference. If the answer is no, then no worries. You're still going in the right direction. Just remember to be the turtle, reset another timeline in your calendar to revisit it. Smaller improvements that last for years will almost always outperform huge changes that only last a few weeks. Everyone has to start from somewhere. So I also want to remind you that everyone's journey is going to look different. Some people may only be able to start with $5 every payday, others may be 20, some may be 100 or more. None of these numbers are going to determine your success. It's the habit that does. Please don't compare your beginnings to someone else's middle or end. Compare yourself to who you were the other day. If yesterday you weren't investing and today you've built a simple automatic system, you've already changed the direction of your future. Never underestimate the difference between nothing and something. Going from zero to your very own first automatic investment is one of the biggest psychological victories you're ever going to have, because you've gone from hoping your future gets better to actively building and participating in it. So, another final thought, I'd also like to encourage you to talk about what you've learned. Share these ideas with your family, your children, your friends, your coworkers. Not because you need to convince anyone, but because many of us just simply were never taught about how these financial tools work. Sometimes one conversation is enough to change someone's future. And if someone questions what you're doing, that's okay. You may also hear things like $5 isn't going to make a difference, or good luck retiring on that. Most people don't mean harm by what they say, and that's going to be a very rare occasion. I think most people will be supportive. I think often they're just simply speaking from their own experience or beliefs. Human beings naturally interpret the world through what they've seen or what they believe is possible. Don't let someone else's opinion become your belief. Keep your head down, keep learning, keep improving, keep being the turtle. And remember, no single vote changes an election, but thousands of votes do. Your future works exactly the same way. So, in the final closing, as we finish this course, I want to leave you with a final thought. Please don't wait until you have more money to start building a better financial future. Build your system today, no matter how small, because your future won't be changed by one big decision. It will be shaped by 1,000 small votes that time quietly turns you into the person you're becoming. And let's remember where we started. Awareness, attention, every action is a vote. Votes become evidence. Evidence become identity. Identity trains your autopilot. The autopilot shapes the probability of your future. Your future isn't hidden, it's rehearsed. Every dollar has a job. Every basket has a purpose. Every investment is simply a tool. We choose the right tool for the right job. We pay ourselves first. We automate our system. We trust time. And above all, we become the turtle. Thank you so Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I genuinely hope that these lessons have helped you feel more confident, not just about investing, but about building habits that you can improve your life for years to come. In the next and final video I'm going to put in this playlist, it's not really part of the lesson, but I'll be walking you through the settings of the Wealthsimple account in regards to the automatic deposits and the reoccurring purchases. So you can put everything into action if you need help on that end. And once you've done that, you won't just be understanding the automatic wealth system, you'll be living it. So after this playlist is concluded, we'll continue exploring new topics together, including saving more effectively, avoiding common credit card traps, understanding investing in greater depth, and building even stronger financial habits over time. If you found these lessons valuable, please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing them with someone you care about. Financial literacy is one of the greatest gifts we can pass on. The more people who understand these ideas, the more families can build stronger futures. Thank you again for joining me on this journey. Until next time, I ask you to be the turtle, keep casting better votes, and remember, every small decision is another vote for the future you're building.